Welcome everybody, this is Wilder Action does at Birds and Bees. I'm shooting from Rymeads here today on the 30th of September 2024. I just thought I'd let you guys know of all the fails, and these are kind of tips and fails at the same time, because we've all done these as photographers at some point. From rookie to getting right up there. So anyway, one of the things I've done is not charging my camera before I come out. Pretty sure everybody's done that. You get there and you've either got half a battery or a very low battery. Yeah, that is really annoying, obviously, for many reasons, especially if you've gone out for a long day shoot. The next one is spare batteries. Pretty much the same as charging your batteries. If you've got a small battery or battery that doesn't take many shots, or again you've gone out for a long day of shooting, that's quite a hard one to get over because there's not much you can do unless you've got charging facilities. I've got the Z9 here, so this one does last a long time. The next one is taking your lens cap off. I always say to people, take your lens cap off as soon as you get out of the car, and don't put it back on until you get back in your car or you are completely done, because it's always what you least suspect when you're walking out of a place or whatever. It will always happen. It will always happen as soon as you put your lens cap on. So keep it on until you get back into your car or back inside, wherever. Next one is probably a minor to most people, but a strap. The amount of times I've left my strap, especially when I carry two cameras, it's really annoying, because one you have to carry in your hand, and the other one, every time you want to do another shot, you put the camera down on the floor, and it's not very, when you've got one on either side, you can carry, just drop and carry. You literally think to yourself, oh, I'm going to drop my camera. Anyway. The next one is the wrong gear, i.e. forgetting your coat, forgetting to wear your boots, getting your feet wet, muddy, gloves when it's cold. It's very important to bring the right gear with you when you go out, and if you know what you're shooting, then you should be bringing out the right gear. Sorry, I keep looking out. I'm just seeing there's dragonflies and that keep flying around now, and the day's been a really rainy day, so I'm just happy to see a dragonfly flying. You know me, I'm into my insects, but I've come for birds today, to be honest. I have brought my macro lens, but we'll see. I highly doubt I'm actually going to see many insects, but nice to see a dragonfly out there. Anyway, the next one is kind of the same thing with the gear stuff, is not checking the weather forecast. You don't know what it's going to be like. If it's raining, it's really annoying when you've come out and you haven't obviously brought the right gear out. Like I said, it's to do with the other thing of not bringing the right gear out. But if you check the weather forecast, then you prepare yourself for the day. The next one is when you're shooting and you see something that you don't normally see, a subject you don't normally see, like, I know kingfishers are common, but just for argument's sake, if a kingfisher comes along and it lands, but then something else starts happening because the kingfisher's been sitting there for so long, and then there's a coot comes along and starts fighting, so you move your lens to the coot, and all of a sudden, what happens? The kingfisher starts diving and you miss it all because you've been focused on the coot. Always focus on the thing that you're not likely to see that often, because you'll be kicking yourself when the common thing, you see common things all the time, you can always get that shot again, but the things you don't normally see, focus on that. Anyway, the next one is forgetting your accessories for your tripod or your tripod. I don't often shoot with a tripod, but I have done, and there's been times when I forgot to bring the bracket out to hold the actual lens onto the tripod, and that's really annoying because now you've brought your tripod out, which is heavy and cumbersome, and you haven't got a way to shoot on that tripod. So that's annoying. Yeah, so try not to forget that. Next one is always bring food with you, which I haven't today because I knew I wasn't going to stay out for long. Hopefully that drop just hasn't gone on the lens just now. Maybe it has, maybe it hasn't. I don't know. It's dripping from above. Yeah, try and always bring food and drink out. I did bring a coffee out with me today, so that you're not sitting there thinking, oh, I'm hungry and I've got to go straight back. Yeah, it's a good thing to do. I don't know how my light levels are looking right now. I don't know why I'm leaning forwards. I keep ducking down, looking at ducks flying and things like that. Anyway, the next thing is, for women, this is worse than men, obviously. Go to the toilet as soon as you can or when you can. Because the last thing you want to do is get somewhere and be cross-legged, shaking up and down, thinking, I need the toilet. Another thing with that, a good thing to do is kind of bring toilet roll with you just in case. Because you never know, you might get caught short. For men, it's a bit different than women because we can get away with just a little stand up, we in the bushes, but we all have the other place. But yeah, try and always think about the toilet. This is a really stupid one. Kind of like the cap thing. Remember to switch your camera on. I know you will notice immediately, but try and keep your camera on. Hopefully it goes into a shutdown mode rather than just switching it. I do it. I switch my camera off because I'm very quick at switching it on. And sometimes, weirdly, your camera can actually wake up quicker from being switched on than a standby mode. It used to happen to me with Canon quite a lot. The Nikon, I think it's actually quicker switching it on as well. Yeah, so I don't know. But I would say for most people, just keep your camera switched on, let it go into a shutdown mode, and then as soon as you tap your button, it comes on, rather than thinking, oh my God, my camera's not on. Next one is make sure this is more for hybrid shooters, make sure you're in the right mode. The amount, since I've gone to shooting video, the amount of times I missed photos because I thought I was in photo mode, or I've missed video because I thought I was in video mode, or this is not about being in the wrong mode, thinking that I've pressed the record button and I haven't, and then when I stop it, then I'm recording. That's pretty dumb. The last one I've got, a couple I've got here. Don't watch your switches. Make sure when you're walking around you haven't accidentally switched into a manual, like autofocus mode on your camera or something. You know, like you've got the switches on your lenses. Here, like I've got auto and manual. There has been times, not so much on this lens, but it's happened to me on macro lenses where I've switched it from auto to manual, and you're sitting there thinking, why won't my lens focus? It's just you, it's not the camera. Anyway, the next one is, this really got to me. One of my best moments I've had in photography when it first happened to me. I've had it happen a few other times now, but when it first happened, just so excited. I had a hummingbird hawk moth come to a flower near me, and I had the Canon, I can't remember what camera I had, but I know I had the Canon 100 to 400 L Mark II lens with me, which obviously if you shoot it at 400, you can get semi macro shots with that. And I'm shooting away, I'm so excited shooting this hummingbird hawk moth. Brilliant, brilliant. I know I'm getting some nice shots. I get home and I'm looking, thinking, why isn't it's quite small in the frame, why is it so small in the frame? And I looked at my EXIF data and I'd been shooting at, I think, about 180 millimeters. So that's all about getting excited. Calm yourself down, make sure your lens is at the right length. To be quite honest, this is why I mainly shoot primes. I hate not being at the right length when I should have been. And it's an extra thing to think about. At least people complain about primes, you can't, get things in the frame if it comes towards you. There are different things you can do. You can move your feet, or you can just keep shooting. There's plenty of headshot flight shots I've got when it's coming in and I've clipped the wings. So what? Different type of shot. Anyway, my phone's just shut down on me, but the last thing I've got for you is shutter speed. Depending on how you shoot, I shoot fully manual with no auto ISO, and there's been plenty of times when I've missed the subject, especially because I only shoot action photography, and I've thought to myself, do you know what, that subject there is not moving. For once I'm gonna roll my shutter speed that right down, and I'll be shooting at 1/100th of a second or something like that. I don't know why I do it, because I hardly ever post pictures like that, so really I should always stay at high shutter speeds. But yeah, I do that, and then it's right down, and then you're like, oh no, you've taken a whole sequence of shots, and that sequence of shots is just a blur. I do remember a lot of the time halfway through, and I think, but there are times when you've just thought you're shooting and you're right down. Anyway, those are my fails. This is the end of this video here, really. If you'd like to like my video, share and subscribe to my channel, you can. Put in the comments any of your fails that you've had.